about this. Right now, you're going to listen to me.
Órale, Total Trucker Más Movies and Shows. Oh, man. We got a good one here today. So we're going to get the boys on here. We got a trio, and we're going to talk about something uh, that's probably kept quiet. Everybody just kind of like, I don't really want anybody to know this or whatever. They don't want to get confrontational when it comes to these movies. So, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to address it right here. So let's go ahead and bring on first, man, from Two Face Entertainment with a black backdrop one, Mr. Fed Segura.
Hey, what's up, my brother? How you doing, man? How
Good,
you
good
doing?
stuff.
Good, man. Hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. I'm in some pain today, brother. But hey, let's rock it. Let's rock it. Let's
Well,
make it happen.
Like Patrick Swayze says in the movie Roadhouse, pain don't hurt.
All right.
Pain don't hurt.
Hey, man. Let's
Speaking
let's make it happen. Oh
speaking
man.
of pain does not hurt. This man is such a man. His tears cure cancer, but too bad he doesn't know how to cry. From San Jose, California, one Mr. Robert Anthony.
What's
Ooh,
happening? What it do? What it do
what's up?
out
What's up,
there?
bro? Good. Good to
What's
see you,
going on,
Robert.
brother?
Good to see
Good
you.
to see everybody, right? Let's get it going.
Let's do this, man. There's giving the girls the night off. Nothing but the fellas on here today. So let's go
Yep.
ahead and let's do this. So let me go ahead and explain what we're doing on here to everybody. So there's movies out there that generally speaking everybody loves, right? Of course, not every single person. But some of us just don't like it. And it's just I don't get it. It's like, nah, I just
Yep.
couldn't get into it. But yet everybody seems to love it. And vice versa. There's movies out
Mhm.
there where everybody's all like, gosh, what a horrible movie. It's like, eh, I don't know, man. I kind of loved it, but you can't find anybody else that actually likes that movie. You're like, man, I don't know, man. I actually really enjoyed that movie. So
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna get into here today. So I've asked the boys to come up with the list. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll start it off, man, because I always need to start. I gotta start off with this. Okay, we'll start with we'll start with the negative. We'll start with movies that you don't like, and but everybody else loves it.
Mhm.
Listen, guys, I never understood Star Wars, man.
Okay, I gotta go, bro.
I don't, I don't get it. I don't like. I saw. I've seen the first three, which is supposed to be the last three, right? If you go through them through sequence, the three old ones, and then they made like three new ones. So I
Yeah.
saw those, like I don't know, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, the other one, Luke, I am your father,
Yeah.
and I thought, okay, it's it's all right, but I don't know, man. I didn't understand. It wasn't that good. After that, when they came out with all the other ones, I just watched that one with that dude with the red face. He looks like
Oh,
Pinhead
Darth Maul.
from Hellraiser. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I saw that one and I was just like, yeah, it was fine, but I didn't watch none of the other ones. I'm like, I'm good, man. I don't know. I didn't. I Robert, you gave me a thumbs up. Are
Yeah.
you on? Are you with me
Bro,
on
I
this one,
am, bro, I am on board like a baby on board. I'm
man?
telling
Okay.
you, man, bro. That
All
movie,
right.
I never got into Star Wars. It just was something, dude. I don't get it. And I have friends who know backstories.
Mhm.
I have friends that,
Right.
oh, we got to go. I'm not feeling it, man. I'm like you, man. When I watched the first couple ones as a kid, even like when my parents bought me like Christmas Star Wars stuff, I was like, eh.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
And not
Dang.
okay, okay, but not okay. And then like everybody loves Harrison
Everybody
Ford in
loves
that
it.
movie. Like Harrison Ford is the coolest dude, and I'm like, I like him better as Indiana Jones. Like, what's so cool about Harrison Ford in this
Yeah.
movie? I don't think he's like his character. What's his character's name?
Han Solo.
Hans or
Oh,
Han
Han
Solo.
Solo.
Yeah.
It was like it was a big
He,
deal when
he's
he
Han.
returned.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
a big
he's
deal
Han
when he
Solo.
returned.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it is.
He's Han Solo, but he rode with Chewie. Go figure.
I know. I'm just. I didn't
Yeah.
understand. Like, I don't think it's that cool of a
You,
movie. It was, to me, it was decent at best. I could do without it if I never watch those movies again. I don't get the whole cult following. I
Yeah.
don't. It's not that good of a movie. Fred,
You know,
Fred, come on, talk to
hold
us.
on, but you real
okay.
quick, tell me, could you? But you know what always
Yeah,
bothered me about Star Wars, and I know this is something little and petty, but something
Uh,
that always bothered me about Star Wars is when they go into like one of those intergalactic bars, and there's people who look crazy and they don't even trip. It's like, hey, what's up? It's like if I went to
yeah,
that
yeah.
bar, I'd be like,
Well,
dude,
it's a
you're not
universe, bro.
safe.
It's a universe.
I don't want to deal with
No,
you, dude. Come on, bro.
you know
These
what
people
though?
are crazy.
I'll put it together like this. I saw it as a kid, and it's
mm,
something that kind of struck me. But then again, see, in my defense, bro, I saw it at a time where movies like that weren't made, bro. You know what I mean? So it kind of took everything by storm a little bit. You know what I mean? So I got into it. But allow me to say this, and I don't blame anybody else because I think I had to kind of work my kids into it, and my nephews and stuff. The kids I raised, I raised my nephews, I raised my own kids actually, and they all loved it, right? But it was kind of like you nurture them a little bit, and get them into it, and then we saw that as a family. To go see them at the movies and stuff. I started as a kid with my parents, But I will say this: the original trilogy and
mm.
the sequel trilogy, but all the newer stuff, the last three, the newer ones that came out, garbage, man, straight garbage. Like
Okay.
they destroyed the whole saga of everything, like the story. I mean, you got to understand one thing though, in that sense, if somebody that's invested, 40 plus years or whatever into something, and then they just kind of destroyed it at the end, I was like, what the heck, like. But anyways, I think it's more of a it just captures you at a certain point in time. It's kind of like showing somebody today, a youth today, Jurassic Park, you know, and they're kind of like, oh,
Uh,
well,
okay. Hang on though, Fred. Hang on,
okay,
because I got homies, right? And these
mhm,
are vatos from the street, man. These are vatos from the barrio, right?
yeah,
And they got their lightsabers, and they weren't
yeah,
around. When did the first one come out? In 76?
77.
77. They weren't around then, man. These guys weren't born till like 82, 83. You got
Yeah,
Denise over here saying that Shasta Melvin, that he said you had to be there. But
yeah,
no, because there's actually people that are into it that weren't there. Fred, you got people in their 20s that
yeah,
are into it. So
yeah. I got my
you didn't
nephew.
have, okay, so you didn't have to be there. I guarantee you I could show
Oh
Jurassic
yeah,
Park to somebody and they'll like it. Jurassic Park's a good movie. But I don't understand. It's just no, man. I just didn't get it, Fred.
but you know what? Watch, see the original Star Wars, the first one, right? The
Yes.
first one, and the story's really simple. It's pretty much the guy lives on a farm. He lives with his aunt and uncle because his parents passed away, right? So he basically wants to go and join the military, is what it is, right? And then he's always questioning about his own father, which he doesn't know who his dad was, and they refuse to tell him. There's a funny scene in there. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? I hate to say it that way. When they're having dinner, right? And then he says, he mentioned Obi-Wan Kenobi or something. He tells the uncle that right in dinner, and the uncle tells him, it's somebody your dad knew a long time ago or something. And then, Luke Skywalker, the guy, the main character, says, oh, he knew my father? And the uncle says, I tell you to forget it. He just like cut him off. I mean,
Okay,
like
okay.
straight
I
up
get it,
like,
Fred.
you know, it's just like,
Fred.
whoa. But,
All right, Fred.
but it's
Fred,
just, what I mean by,
you're being a
no,
salesman, Fred. You're trying to get us to like it,
no,
huh?
no. See, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying you had to be there. It just, if it captured you at the right moment, it probably would have been different. I know a lot of people that aren't into it. I love the first original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. After that, trash. I
Okay.
don't like the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
argument, and I'm gonna say you're making this argument, but the argument when people say like you had to be there. No, Rocky, the original Rocky came out in '76. People are into Rocky. This thing about you had to be there
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily hold weight because you do have people in their 20s, their 30s, early
Mhm.
40s that weren't around. They weren't around to experience it, but they are all into it. And I hear from most Star Wars fans that I come across, Fred,
Uh-huh.
say exactly what you said. The first three, which is technically supposed to be
5, 6, and
4, 5, and
7.
6.
Oh, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah.
4, 5, and 6, yeah. And then the
Uh,
trilogy afterwards, which were prequels.
yes.
Most Star Wars fans that I talk to say those six are the best. Everything else is no good.
Yeah.
I just I just don't get it, man.
I will say
Not
this.
good.
I will say this. Out of the 4, 5, and 6, to me, 6 was the worst. I didn't
The
care
sixth
for part
one.
6.
Which one
I
is
didn't
six?
even care for it. Return of the Jedi. I was like, oh. So when they brought in the Ewoks, it just kind of changed the dynamics of the story a little bit. But George Lucas had already had kids, and he was catering more to a younger audience, and it was kind of like we just kind of fell into it. But hey, I digress.
Ro-
I mean, that's what it is.
Robert,
Yeah.
Robert, how many Star Wars movies have you seen, brother?
I'd maybe seen. I think I might have seen the first three, and I think my friend dragged me to one because he's like I said, he's like Fred, and he knows like all the backstories, right? And he dragged me to one with the Jar Jar drinks.
Oh,
You know
oh
what I'm
yeah,
talking about?
the first one, yeah,
Yeah,
the
so he's
Phantom
like,
Menace.
oh, dude, bro, when he did it, man, he went and got like tickets in advance. He was like, I
Oh,
got tickets already. You want to go? And I was just like, yeah,
oh yeah.
I felt sorry for him, bro. He was my homeboy. I went with him just because I felt like, dude, I'll go with you just because he was like a 13-year-old kid again, dude. Like, I got
Oh
tickets.
yeah,
And
dude.
blah, blah, blah. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah. You know,
and
man.
this is the worst thing about it, though. He's one of my coolest homeboys. And at that moment, I lost a little bit. He lost a little bit of his coolness.
Yeah, I get you. Hey, real quick, right here
Uh,
to the homie out in Nebraska, man. I just heard an interview with Dolph Lundgren today. I definitely want to talk about it on another one,
uh,
man. But now go. I mean, Fred, are you like a big fan of it? Are you like
of
huge?
Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, man. Because I have the
Yeah.
action figures and the ships and all that stuff. But I still play with them every now and then. No, not for those. No. So I mean, you know what, man? Yeah, but I gotta say, I gotta say that. See, and it's kind of hard to explain this. If you fell in love with the first three, the first 4, 5, and 6, what's up, Mikey? If you fell in love with the first original three, and then you saw the prequels and all this stuff, and you invested pretty much since being a kid up until the sequel trilogy, the last three, disappointing, man. They once I'll put it to you this way: once I'm not gonna say it on here, right? I don't want to get us in trouble, but once another company took over, bro, it went to trash, dude. They pretty much. And let me put it to you like this: like say you like say like you said, Indiana Jones, right?
Yes. Yes.
And now they come out with a new one, and Indiana Jones turned out to be just um
From Wisconsin.
yeah, or a guy that likes men.
It's like a
It's
freaking
kind of like
Indiana.
what? Like when you say you just destroyed everything that came before that, dude. You know what I mean? And like what?
So
Like
what you're saying is Indiana Jones is the other one. He's a real man's man. Okay.
it's like what? You just well, so what was the okay? So wait, well, okay. How did the whip come into play here now? And see, it just changes everything that happened. But hey, I'll leave that at that. That's how I see Star Wars. But no, I don't take it
Okay.
to heart, bro. I understand it's not for everybody. It captured me at a time, and I had the T-shirts and all this other stuff, man. So
Put it
I
put it
I, I
this
love
way.
I love those movies, bro.
Put it this way.
But not all of them.
Remember the last time we got together, we were all saying, sometimes there's just one of those movies that comes on TV and you kind of stop and just kick back for a while and Star Wars.
It's
Nah,
not one of those.
I keep on cleaning, bro.
Dude,
I keep on cleaning, dude.
We walked out of the theater, bro, so upset with the Last Jedi, dude. Which is what 4, 5, 6. Part 8. We walked out of there, man. I was so irritated, dude. I was irritated with that. The Last
That
Jedi. I was like,
that
what the heck was that, dude? Like, it just,
okay, Fred, that's when Han Solo came back, right?
yeah, that's after, yeah, because
Okay,
it's the original.
what is so
Huh?
cool about him? I don't understand. Like his character, like is his character really that cool in the movie? Like, well,
Oh,
I remember hearing on the radio like the return of Han Solo, right? It is before the movie came out, but everybody
yeah,
was so amped up, like, oh, the return of Han Solo. And I'm like,
yeah.
was he really that cool in the movie?
I don't think so. Nah, he wasn't. He wasn't all that. I think he kind of stole the show a little bit from the actual from Luke Skywalker. To be honest with you, I mean, he was a smuggler. He would smuggle. He would smuggle whatever, I don't know, in space, whatever. From, he was a smuggler. So that's how
Okay.
they hired him to fly. Uh, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker to some, I don't know, whatever planet. That
You know,
they didn't
dude.
make it to
Sorry,
because
you tell us. We know you know, dude. Tell us. We
no,
know
no,
you
no.
know.
Well, he didn't. I don't want to get all into. We'll talk the whole show
Hey,
into this thing,
Fred, Fred, everybody else thinks you're cool, man. Everybody's
Come
agreeing with
on,
you.
bro.
They
We
love
know you
Star
know,
Wars.
dude.
It's just the two of us giving you a hard time, but
No,
everybody
I
else
know.
loves
No,
you,
no.
man.
It's not even personal, dog. It's not. But you know what? I mean, I don't think he was all that cool, bro. I think he was a lot cooler in American Graffiti as Bob Felpo, bro, in the 55, man,
Hmm.
that Black 55. But no, he wasn't all like. I don't think he was like, oh wow, like, oh, Han Solo. I don't know why they even said that. And then hey, spoiler alert, they kill him off in the I think in the first sequel that came back. Like, he wanted out, dude. So
Okay.
it was
Good
just,
gosh, man. I'm looking at some pictures that were just recently sent to me right now
uh,
from our sister Denise.
oh man,
They are a Star Wars family. I'm
oh
telling
yeah,
you guys, they
oh
are a Star Wars family. So
I
much to the
I
point, so much to the point where I think when the daughters were born, I think Melvin got the babies and said, "I am your father." I mean, they
you know
are
what?
a Star Wars family.
I was gonna name my youngest daughter Princess Leia, dude. That's what I wanted to name her. Seriously, it didn't
All
happen. It
right.
didn't happen.
Look,
I won't get into what
All right.
happened later. No,
Okay.
like,
All
oh,
right.
God.
I just look honestly, man. I never understood it.
yeah,
It's not.
me too.
I got homies that I'm
Yeah,
still cool with to this day, man. They're
Yeah,
from the streets and everything. They got their lightsabers. They love it, and I'm like, God, I never really understood it. It wasn't
yeah.
really that good of a movie to
Oh,
me. I
dude.
couldn't really tell you guys much about it.
And I'll tell you, I love the movies, but there are people who are really hardcore, bro, that read all
Right.
the books, the comics. I mean, they've gotten that far deep, and I'm like, I'm not that deep into it, bro. I'm not that deep into it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on to another one. Robert,
Uh,
what's a movie that everybody generally loves that you just don't get it?
easy for me. Well, Can I throw out two real quick because two come to mind and they're pretty even to me, right?
mhm.
Okay.
And
Hit
they're
us.
both
Hit
like
us.
continuation movies, right?
Hit us.
Unfortunately, this first one I'm gonna say, it saddens me to say that somebody on the panel is gonna go against me immediately, and his name is not Fred.
Oh God.
Rocky Five.
Oh,
Rocky Five is
Nah.
whoa,
terrible.
That doesn't count.
Listen, well, hold on.
I don't think that
Let me
he got
counts.
my
me.
chance. This is my chance.
He got me at homeboy now. Like,
Hold
I
on.
don't think that counts though, Robert. I don't think that counts. I think most people are with you. I think most people don't like that movie.
So you think it's the other way around?
I think it's the other way
Okay,
around
okay.
because that,
So
that
then,
I actually have that on my list of movies that I love that most people don't
okay,
like.
well,
I think it's the other
let me
way
throw
around.
my other one out there, and I'll come back
All right.
to Rocky Five, where he all of a sudden finds his ball that he used to have on the
oh,
dots in the 70s.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
Well,
It was
I'll change
fate.
that. Okay.
yeah. He dug through
The
the garage.
Godfather Part 3.
Oh yeah, I
I,
have to.
Terrible.
I have to agree.
Wait a
Terrible.
second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. I,
I
I
can't
don't
watch
think.
the whole trilogy. I could watch one and two like that. When that one comes on, man, it's like, nope, can't do it, dude.
Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think. Well, I think we're off here. I think we're off here. Robert, I think most people don't like part three.
You don't think so? I know people
I,
who like when I say part three, they get upset at me. They'll be like, it finishes the trilogy and it gives it. I had a friend tell me once that it gave him closure, like he was part of the family. It gave me closure. You're not part of. You're not part of the crime
let
family.
me let me ask everybody in the chat. Let me ask everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat. The Godfather Part Three. Put one if you love it. Put two if you don't like it. One if you like it. Two if you don't like it. The Godfather Part Three. I think most people are with you, Robert. I think most people
Ooh,
don't like that
yeah.
movie. What do you say, Fred? What do you think
I,
the general public?
you know what? I think the general public doesn't like it either. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what? It had its pros and cons, but it had more cons than it had pros, in my opinion. There's a lot of incest in there too, as well. Like, what the heck, man? That's your cousin,
Yeah, there's
bro.
things
Like,
going on in
you know,
that
I
movie
don't know.
that was
It's just kind of,
crazy to me. You know what I
yeah.
mean? That
It was just,
no Don would allow.
yeah.
Okay. Actually, okay, let's talk about The Godfather because we could do a spin on this, man. I
Mm,
actually think most people don't like part three. I haven't heard
Okay,
anybody speak good about part three.
yeah.
I've heard everybody say they love part two. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna be on the
don't do it.
on the
Um,
uncool list.
Don't do it.
To me, let me
Don't
tell
do
you
it.
guys something. Let me tell everybody something. I like part three. I like part three. Part
mm,
two sucks to me, and part one is
Oh my
decent.
goodness.
I,
uh-huh.
I,
Oh my God,
part
dude.
one is decent. When people talk about mob movies and they're like, "Hey, what's one of the greatest mob movies?" Oh, Godfather. Oh, part two. It's like, really? Those
Mm,
movies are really slow, man. I can
Oh
name
my.
so
yeah,
many other mob movies that are much more entertaining, from Goodfellas, Casino, Carlito's Way. I could name so many other great
yeah.
mob movies. The Godfather, to me, is it just because it's old school and people just want to keep it tradition?
Oh my.
Part two was kind of flat
It
to
should.
me, and
It
part
goes back
And
one,
and
I
forth.
didn't. It wasn't that good either. It wasn't that
well,
good
the
either.
characters, man, are so complex, and it
It
just
goes,
shows you. It just shows you. Oh man, wow.
yeah. It goes back and forth though. Part two goes back and forth.
Yeah, man.
A lot of people had that problem on that one. You know, they
Or is
had a
it just
problem on that.
is it just because he kills his brother in part two? Is that what everybody loves? Like they just
No,
love the
wait,
fact
dude,
that he went.
You know what I
they
think's kind of
killed Sonny in the first one at the toll booth. They just riddled them up in the first one.
yeah, but you know what I think was cool about part two too, man, is like when he goes to Cuba, you know what I mean? They're trying to take over a casino in Cuba. They show you old school Cuba. You know, Al Pacino's a young, cool Al Pacino man, and he's talking about you know, the Cubans could win this. You know, him and Hyman Roth. Remember that one scene? It's one of the best scenes in the movie where he starts talking about who okayed that hit,
Oh
and the
yeah,
old man was
Yes, 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 yes.
and he got up and he just gave him that whole spiel. Man, that scene is just, bro. He lays into Michael Corleone right there. You know what I
the,
mean?
the, the other
I
thing
just,
about
I just think it's classic. You know?
the, the other thing about three, it has a very depressing ending. Hey Vicky, it
Yes.
has that, shout out to Vicky, man. You know what?
I
It has a very depressing ending though. Part three is kind of like, man, where do we go with this, man? It just kind of just, I
Guys.
don't know, man. It just, I don't know.
I disagree, man. I think he has a good ending. First of all, you have Andy Garcia coming in part three, who I think
Mm.
does a great job. Yeah, it has an ending where the little girl dies and everything. But to me, honestly, part one isn't that good. Part two, I think, is even worse. I think part three is the best out of all three of them, man.
Oh
Well,
wow,
Yes.
oh wow. Hey,
hey, are you just trying to be controversial, bro? Is this like the new thing? Is this like
I'm being real. I'm being as
are
real
you
as
gonna
can be.
is this like a
oh
new is
man.
this a new direction the show's going? Like all of a sudden my ex-girlfriend's gonna come out. He was a deadbeat. I'm gonna be like, oh shit.
Oh damn.
Come on, dude. You just
Oh man.
come on, man.
Oh man.
All right.
You're just trying
Okay.
to
So,
be controversial.
which one's better, Robert? Part one or part two?
Dude, they're to me, they're almost equal.
Yeah,
They one and two to
Oh,
me.
I
come
agree.
One and two to me. What
I agree.
seriously? I don't want to get all like I'm almost, but one and two to me are like cinematic masterpieces. They really are, bro. The
on.
writing, the
Oh yeah,
dialogue.
yeah.
You know what I mean? The things that are said, the things that are talked about. You know what I mean? Oh,
You
I think Andy Garcia is miscast in three.
I was
no.
confused. I was confused for the Untouchables. I was confused.
No,
I don't know.
okay, all right, but no, I think he did great in that movie. I think he
Oh, he
did great.
did.
I think he's a
Okay,
good
Fred,
actor,
wait,
so he
Fred.
can. But he was totally like miss. You know, I didn't buy him, man. I didn't
No,
buy him.
Ah,
I
I
passed on I passed on Andy Garcia in that movie. You know what I mean? I said,
man, no, no, not good old Andy Garcia.
hey, man.
Fred, which one's better, part one or two?
for me, I
Yeah.
say the first two are. I agree with Robert on that. The first two are excellent, bro. The
Oh,
third
come
one,
on.
look. I'm not gonna say I completely hate the third one. It's a little
Okay.
disturbing because there's like incest going on and stuff. And the ending was just kind of like, oh man. I mean, I'm not gonna say knock it and feel like, oh no, it's just to me the way I accept it is because it's part of the story. Unfortunately, it's not what we wanted or what we thought we wanted, but I mean, it is what it is, you know.
Just even
Uh,
like
I mean,
but it's the
it had
least.
it.
I'll say
even
that it's the least of my favorites. Three
but
is the
even
least of my favorites
but
because
even
part one, and I do agree, it's they're long movies and it's a slow burn. It's a very slow
Very,
burn, you
very
know.
slow burn.
In part two, I think what throws a lot of people off is because it goes back and forth. So Vito Corleone is actually Robert De Niro in the second one, and Robert De Niro and then Al Pacino, and they never share the screen obviously because they're going back in time and it goes back and
Mm.
forth, back and forth. So it's almost like more American Graffiti, how it goes bounces around from years to years and stuff. So it might be confusing to some people and stuff like that. But I
but
get it. I mean, after watching them, I think they're good. I think part three, I said again, I don't completely despise it, but it's the least of my favorites. I'll say it like that.
but even like in
Yeah.
part two, man, when you see like what transpired in the movie, remember when that got when the in the beginning of the movie they're at Al Pacino's house in Lake Tahoe, and that senator comes in, Senator Geary, and
Uh-huh.
he goes into Al Pacino's office and he tells him, "This is what's going to happen. I'm going to squeeze you. I don't like
Yes.
you people coming over here trying to play it off like you're good Americans. You oily." And he just starts, and I just love how it develops where they set him up,
Yeah.
and later on when they're doing the remember the hearings, that senator is
Oh yeah.
sticking up.
Yeah.
Just how he played him, man. It's a master.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
master. You got to go back and watch it, man.
There's a
I,
lot, but they are both the first two are very slow burns, very
Right.
slow burns. You know,
I,
and
When
you
when
gotta kind of
when
you gotta kind of keep up with stuff too because you're like, okay, why are they murking this dude? You know, it just you
Hey, be honest.
it just, there's a
The
lot.
first time you saw The Godfather, or even when you see it now, bro, when that dude wakes up and his horse in his
Oh,
bed,
Horsehead. Yeah,
bro, that is the
okay.
most gangster move ever, dude.
yeah, that was in the beginning. Though.
Okay,
Dude,
hang on. Okay, that is pretty cool though. The horse head. Part three has just when I think I'm out, they
oh,
drag me back
Yeah,
in.
that's a great
yeah,
line. I'll give it to you. That's a great
Ah,
yeah,
line.
no, yeah,
ah.
yeah.
I'm not buying it.
I,
That was a great line. Wow, no, man.
let me tell everybody this, man. When it comes to me, the Godfather franchise, there are much better mob movies than the Godfather. Much better. Yes,
Yeah.
they're much better than the Godfather. Robert, you
Okay.
disagree? It's
I
one of the
disagree.
best.
I disagree, man. But it's just a trip, man. Because like I said, I always think that movie's like classic, and people will say things like, I love good gangster movies," and you named some good ones. You said The Godfather, awesome. Oh, you didn't say The Godfather,
No,
my bad.
no.
You said like
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas,
Goodfellas.
Carlito's Way,
Right,
Yeah,
Casino.
yeah.
There's I
Carlito's
could
Way is
keep
cool.
going.
Scarface is cool, but you can't put those up with the Godfather, bro. Carlito's
Is it
Way,
okay,
Scarface.
Robert? Okay, Robert. Hey, Robert, is it just because it's older
I
because
think
it predates it,
you
or
you know
is it
what
the
it is,
movie
man?
itself is better?
For for me, man, what I think it is, man, is just seeing the old school gangster, man. The way they're suited up and booted up, man, and the way they handle business and the things that they do and the things that they're trying to do, man. It's just like the origins of the mob, man. And I don't know the way he's making it happen, man. Bro, at the end of the movie, I'll tell you what, man. And I've watched that movie a lot, man. So at the end of the movie, there's no colder scene, man. At the end of the movie, where the wife's asking him, like, basically, is it true what they're saying about you? Are you the man?
Yeah.
Are you the man? Right?
Yeah.
And Al Pacino's telling her, like, hey, get out of my business. And then he tells her, I'll let you one time ask about my business. And then she looks at him and she's like, is it true? And he looks at her as cool as can be and goes, no. And she buys it, bro. He's just the smoothest gangster, period, bro. And she buys it. Bro, she goes, whoo, let me go make you a drink. And then she makes him a drink and she's coming back and they're kissing his hand, dude. Dude, the dude is he's awesome.
Okay. You know what? Hey, right here, Eddie Vega. The movie Mobsters, much better than The Godfather.
Yeah.
Much better than The Godfather. Much better than The Godfather. If you want to talk, you guys want to talk about the old school mob and everything, Mobsters. Mobsters much better than The Godfather, man.
I love, and I love that movie just as well. When he tells him, he goes, hey man, kill him. He goes, how much? He goes, 4. He goes, 5. Come on, say it, 5. I go, all right, 5. He goes, truth is, I would have did it for free because I love my job. And then he just lights him up, right? Anyways, but no, Anthony Quinn. People forget Anthony Quinn was in that Mobsters with Christian Slater.
Speaking of forget, I'm trying to forget Ed said Mobsters is better than The Godfather.
It's a good movie.
I'm convinced, bro. This is like a new direction your show's going, dude.
No, so we got into the game. You know what? The gangster stuff.
I get it. We gotta stay on edge, bro. This is
okay, Robert, because you're bringing up like the old school mob and everything like that, which is cool. That's fine, but that's like saying like Zoot Suit is better than Blood In Blood Out because Zoot Suit was out before and it shows the old school Chicano Pachu. Zoot Suit's good, but it doesn't.
I think if there was a movie done where they would, even today, it would be an old school kind of aesthetic, I could get into it. I'm not saying it's better because it was first. I'm just saying better because when it delves into things he does, bro. Man, when he goes and talks, like I said, when he goes and talks to Waltz, and Waltz is telling him, like, he'll never get the part. All of a sudden, the next scene, what are those flowers? Oh, they're from your godson Johnny. He got the part. How did he get the part? Because the Godfather made it happen. Or when he goes and talks to Luca Brasi, and he tells him, "Hey, go tell that other family, like, you're a little, you're not satisfied, and you want to go talk." And they're talking to him, and then all of a sudden they kill Luca Brasi, bro. And then they send him the fishes, the vest with the fishes, Sicilian message. What's that? It's a Sicilian message. Luca Brasi sleeps. You want to talk about a line? Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Yeah,
come on, man.
You're not selling me on that, man. I'm not buying it, brother. I'm not.
But you know what? But I hear what you're saying, and I agree with that.
Is that a Kid
But also
Rock?
too, in the defense of the movie Mobsters, when they go visit, I forget F. Murray Abraham, who was also in Scarface. He plays a role in that little part, and then they take him and go, "This is the man that fixed the World Series."
Fix the World Series. He's Austin.
Rostin.
Rothstein, and he says, "Hey man, this is the guy that fixed the World Series." It shows those powers and the people and what they had back then. And then he tells them, he goes, "We tell what's power?" And then he yells in his face, "Money!"
Okay, but that's Mobsters.
I just got one test. One test.
Yeah.
Just one test. Let me ask you this: who does Christian Slater play in that movie?
Lucky Luciano.
Okay. Who else is in that movie?
Patrick Dempsey. Patrick Dempsey's in that movie.
Who does he play?
Patrick Dempsey.
He
plays,
Richard
Nico plays Benjamin Siegel.
Patrick Dempsey play?
No, no, I got this. I got this. Patrick Dempsey plays oh gosh, darn it.
It's Lucky
I know, no, I know
Luciano.
who they. I know who they
I
Who
are.
know
does
the
Richard
name.
Grieco play?
Who does who?
Richard Grieco play. He was in it too, right?
He was Benjamin
Yeah,
Siegel.
yeah,
Okay.
he
He was
was
Benjamin
Siegel.
Siegel.
And who was the fourth guy?
Um,
It's a
damn it.
real. It's the
No,
real
no, no.
life
Patrick
monster.
Dempsey.
So who did he play though? It's a real life mobsters. Who did he play?
Yeah, no, it is. Man, if somebody told me the name, I'd know it. Gosh, I
Let
know
me
it.
ask you this
It
real
was
quick.
Lucky Luciano.
Real quick. Just real quick. Hold on. Stop. Give me a 20. Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. In the movie The Godfather, who does Al Pacino play?
Michael Corleone.
Oh, it came to you just like that.
Michael Corleone. But
But
I mean,
yeah,
but that's the same thing when you said about Christian Slater, though. It's like, oh, Lucky Luciano.
Well,
I
what I'm
mean,
saying is you're going to compare Christian Slater to Al
yeah,
Pacino?
yeah.
hold on, that ain't right though, Robert Pierce. Now you're talking about the two actors though. I'm just talking about the movie. Is the movie? Yeah,
You
definitely Al
remember
Pacino.
characters in the movie.
I
You
keep
don't like
saying
The Godfather, but you
No,
remember the characters.
damn it, no. What's his name? What's his name?
So what's his name?
it was
No.
Lucky Luciano, Benjamin Siegel, um, the guy they let Benjamin Siegel use the money for the casino. They don't show that in
Cat,
Myra Lansky?
Maya
Myra
Lansky.
Lansky. Myra Lansky.
Yeah,
That okay? Myra
yeah, who
Lansky.
doesn't know
Myra
the
Lansky.
movie? Oh, okay.
Myra
Yeah.
Lansky. That's yeah. Myra Lansky. That's who. That's
Who does James Caan
Patrick.
play in The Godfather?
Who's
What is
that?
who?
James Caan. Who does he play?
Sonny.
Look at all this. Like,
But again,
You're talking to me though. You're talking to me though.
Robert. But again, yeah. But again, that doesn't make it a better movie. Look. I know people. And honestly, I'm gonna be real. I think most people probably feel the way I do. There's no way for me to prove it.
wow.
It's just that they don't want to be part. They don't want to be ostracized. They don't want to be ostracized. I honestly believe that most people find Casino, Carlito's Way, Goodfellas,
I'll tell you what.
maybe even Mobsters. I'm pretty sure they find
I'll give
those
you
movies
casinos
more
and I'll give
entertaining.
you casinos and Goodfellas, but you keep on throwing Carlito's Way, and that Carlito's Way is
Or,
just as
or,
good.
or hey, how about this
Carlito's
one?
Way's good.
How about this one?
Let me ask
Once
you this
Upon
on
a Time in
Carlito's Way.
America.
Let me ask you this
How
on
about
Carlito's
one?
Way. You bought
How
that
about
Puerto
Once
Rican
Upon a
accent?
Time in America?
Fred, are you serious, Fred?
Yes,
Let me ask you
noodles,
that.
man.
Did you buy that Puerto Rican accent that Al Pacino had in Carlito's Way?
Huh?
Did you
I
buy,
prefer.
did you
He
buy the
played
Puerto
Carlos
Rican accent or
Belgrande.
Spanish he spoke in
I
that movie?
no, I didn't. But I mean, I didn't buy the accent that he had in Scarface. He was like overdone.
Yeah, so how can that be better? It doesn't come across a little. I'll give you Goodfellas. If somebody says Goodfellas is better than the Godfather, I won't. Okay, that's a great movie. If somebody says
Okay.
Casino, which is Goodfellas in Vegas, okay, I'll give you that. Right? But don't throw Carlito's Way and Scarface.
How
They're like
how about Bugsy?
the Godfather. They're pretty far apart, dude.
How
So that
about
was
Bugsy
Carlito's Way. And I like both movies.
or Warren
Nah,
Beatty? No,
nah, that's not that.
uh,
Nah, it's not that
and
good. Come on, Fred.
I
You're
liked it.
throwing out
I
Once
liked
Upon a Time in America. You're throwing
I
out
liked
Bugsy.
it.
These,
I
these are
liked it. I like those movies, man.
Fred, these are like Class C
Miller's
movies, man.
Crossing. Hey, I like them. You know.
Those are like
Yeah.
Class C movies, man. Those are down there with
Come
like
on, Han
freaking
Solo.
yeah, man. Those movies are down
I
there
don't
with like
want
the
that fool.
basic cable movies with like
Yeah,
Marvel
man.
Evils or something, man.
Those are the ones that the bootleggers give you for free because they couldn't get rid of it. Here's the Godfather. By the way, take this.
That's when you buy a legit one, so they give you one for free. That's the free one.
Yeah, for renting that one out, you get this.
Oh,
Hey, we
man.
got two gangster movies on. We got two gangster.
That's terrible, man.
Hey, man, we got two gangster movies tonight. What is this?
What did you say? What else did you say? What other gangster movie? The one with Warren Beatty? With Warren Beatty? Are you serious? Did you say Dick Tracy? I know you're not trying to pull up Dick Tracy.
Co-starring Lorenzo Lamas and Mario Van Peebles.
No, you know
Oh
who has,
my
you know who has to be in
god!
the movie? You know who has to be in the movie, bro? Is Lance Hendrickson. And I know you know who Lance Hendrickson is, bro.
Oh man!
Oh gosh, man.
Come on,
I'm
Renegade.
crying over here.
Oh
I'm
my
crying over here,
god!
man. All right,
Ooh.
Fred, what's a movie? I forgot what we're even doing.
Oh.
Oh,
A
what's a
movie
movie
that
that everybody loves that you hate?
broke that mountain. No, no, not for us.
Again, we're being controversial. Look at
No,
two cowboys
no,
come
you know what?
cowboys come out of that curtain.
I was just like, I know, right? I was like, oh, they're gonna shut us down right now. No, you know what? That
Oh
I
man, I'm
that
crying.
everybody loves, and I kind of, I won't say hate, but I think less of. There's a couple of them. I'll say one, and we spoke on this before. One of them would be Unforgiven, the Clint Eastwood movie, the
Unforgiven?
Western Unforgiven,
Oh, with Morgan Freeman.
and Gene Hackman and Clint Eastwood. I love the movie, but it's not like, oh my god, like this is really,
Okay,
as much as they
no,
make it out to be.
you know what, Fred? I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I don't think it's that good of a movie, man. To me, honestly, the movie sucks until the end. I'll be
Yeah,
real,
pretty
man.
much. I
You
mean,
you you you're throwing some softballs here, Fred. Come on, throw some hard
okay.
balls. Tell us how you really feel, man.
No, well, you know what? No, you know
What
what?
about
I also
Unforgiven,
thought that
bro?
was a
The one
slow
the movie
burn, dude. I
tonight?
thought that was a slow burn after a while. I think it just took too long. It burns too long through his own story and how he feels and how he feels about the woman that that got cut in the face. So by the time they get to the guy, it's just like, who cares already, bro? Like, I just think it took too long, bro. Like, it got stretched out a little too long. I mean, it's a good movie. In the ending, it's awesome with the late Gene Hackman. I mean, I thought that was a good scene, but
What's
that's
your
it.
favorite scene
You
from the
know,
movie? Just
the one
out
now.
of what's your favorite scene from the movie? What do
The
you
favorite
remember
scene,
that?
my favorite scene is when he beats the heck out of Richard Harris in the street. He calls
Ooh,
him, when he beats him up before he when he lets him out of
yes,
jail.
yes.
Gene
Vince,
Hackman's kicking him all over the place.
what's
Yeah.
your favorite scene from the movie, Ed?
Probably when he exposes the young kid that he can't see. They're
Ooh,
riding the
Oh yeah.
horse, and it's like, oh, show us over here. The boy's blind. He
yeah.
can't see. It's like that
Oh
part made
yes,
me
yes,
laugh.
yes. Nice,
But
nice.
but no,
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. I like people get
I
wound up
know.
about that movie. Like when you talk about great Clint Eastwood movies, and I'm like, that one kind of it's boring and slow to
Yeah.
me, man.
Yeah.
Robert, what's your thoughts on Unforgiven, man?
I like that. I like that movie, man. It was, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that the movie of the year that year? And finished
Yeah.
was director of the year or
It was
something. It's a
90,
great movie.
92, I believe it was. Yes.
I love the part, man, where he goes to the bar, right, and
Mm,
he's asked whose establishment this is, and the one guy
mm.
says it's mine, and he tells everybody to get out of his way, and he blows them away. And Gene Hackman says, "You sir are a coward. You just shot an unarmed man." And Clint Eastwood's response was, "Well, he should have armed himself
Oh,
if he was going
yeah.
to decorate his saloon with my friend."
Yeah.
Bro,
That
Yeah.
come on, man. That
eh,
was
There's
just
some good scenes.
eh,
There's
what
some
you
good
eh,
scenes.
said, man. That's OG Clint.
No, yeah.
there-
No, there's some
uh,
good scenes in there.
uh,
I just think it's overrated. I think it's
Okay.
overrated. It's some good scenes in there, some funny lines and some, good Clint Eastwood stuff, but I just think the film's a little bit overrated, bro. I think it was kind of handed to him at the time because he did say that was his last Western or spaghetti style Western that he was making.
So
So,
just to
so I
just
kind
to
of think they
clarify,
kind of handed it to him a little bit there, and that. I
just
mean,
to
I'm not saying,
clarify,
oh my God, it's a terrible movie. No, I like the movie in a sense, but I don't think it's that great or that iconic. I think Outlaw Josie Wales or even The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly way, way much of a better films.
so I
But
just to clarify, because I'm on Metro and my system comes in a little bit slower. So what you're telling me is that the movie of the year that won the Academy
yeah,
Award that year was overrated. I just want to. Sometimes
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
and I remember he won. He won Best Actor of the Year for that film, and I just think it was. That's why I said I think they gave it to him. I think they kind of
Wait,
just gave
wait.
it to him. You know.
Hold on, Robert. Hold on, man.
Yes, sir.
That happens a lot of times though, where they're like, "Oh, this was the movie of the year," and it's like, was it really? Like, I don't know. It wasn't that good.
You know what? Let me ask you guys a question since we're on that subject. If you guys ever heard of it or even seen it, or anybody in the chat, please. Chariots of Fire.
Dum,
I
dum,
don't think
dum,
I've
dum,
seen it.
dum, dum. That one, the runner.
The running thing, yeah.
The guy
Where
from
they that
the
movie
dude.
won for Best Picture of the Year in
Oh my God,
1982.
bro! The struggle that guy went through. I'm just joking.
I was like, what for real?
It
But
was
get
about the
this,
runner, right?
but get this. That movie beat out Raiders of the Lost Ark, bro. So how? Go figure, bro. And to me, Raiders of the Lost Ark to this day is a way better film.
Yeah.
It's almost a perfect film. And I will say this, going into a little bit of a different thing. To me, Raiders of the Lost Ark is almost the most perfect film in when it comes to adventure and all that sort of stuff. The other ones, except for the Last Crusade, I didn't really care for. I'll be honest with that. Yeah.
Man, Temple of Doom is good.
I didn't care
Kalima,
for it, man. I
Kalima,
didn't care for it.
Shakti Day, ripping out your
Yeah, it
heart.
was like
Come on, dog. The bald-headed
yeah.
building with the red on top.
Yeah, I
Robert,
mean, I don't know, man. It just. I mean, they were good, but not like a.
Is it any
Yeah,
coincidence? Is it any
yeah.
coincidence
But
that the movie that's almost a perfect movie is a Han Solo kind of dude? You know Han Solo? See, you moving back to Han Solo. You even said it. You're like, it's
hold
a
on, I'm not
perfect
gonna let this
movie.
one down, bro.
A
I'm not gonna let
perfect
this one
movie.
down.
Raiders of the Lost
Oh
Ark.
man,
Han
you know
Solo.
what? But
man.
I'll tell you, man. No, that's a good one, bro. No,
If
but I mean, you know what? I think I honestly think it's pretty close to it, man. Like
you bring up
that
the
movie,
fugitive
it's
next,
just
dude.
nothing else came close, though.
Wait. Okay.
It,
Let me ask Robert. Let me ask Robert. So, okay,
uh,
Robert. So, are you on board that Unforgiven is like it's a good movie?
I
Would
thought it
you
was a good movie,
recommend it?
dude.
Because it's
I thought it was
boring,
a good
man.
movie, bro. I really did. I thought it was a good movie, man. I like the characters. I like the storyline. You know what I mean? I like what they were going. They were. Clint Eastwood being old and broken down, having to resort to, man, I used to be able to do this. I can't do it no more. Remember, he couldn't even ride the horse. He couldn't get on the horse. He went and
yeah,
got his boy, Morgan Freeman. His old lady, the Indian lady, right away knew like this wasn't going to be good. Her husband ends up dying. Oh man, like you said, the kid was a bullshitter. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I
Yeah,
killed all these people. He hadn't killed nobody, right? And then
yeah.
yeah.
remember he was, I never killed nobody. I'm gonna change, and this isn't for me. And Sir Richard Harris gets beat up, right? They even got that one dude, the writer Sal something. I think his name
Oh
is
yeah,
Sal.
the bookkeeper or whatever he was,
Sal
the
Rubinek or something.
author.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
writing
Duck, I
about
said. The Duke, the
the
Duke,
yeah
and the
the
Duck.
Okay. You're naming part, but those parts are like
I thought it
it's
was
not
good, man.
entertaining though, Robert. Like
I thought
I
it was
understand
I thought it
the
was good,
story.
man. I really did. I thought it was a good movie. That's my go-to Western, man. That's
No.
my go-to Western. I said
See,
it.
see,
Oh,
I think too though.
no.
But
That's
I
my
think
go-to Western.
we're programmed to believe because it won for Best Picture or whatever. That's supposed to be enough to convince us to say no, that was good. At the end of the day,
Because the Crying
it,
Game won Best Picture. I don't watch the Crying Game. No.
I
That
seen that. I seen that. Yeah, that was a yeah.
that's my
That was
movie. I'm a
yeah.
Clint Eastwood dude, man.
I
Come
thought
on.
Boogie Nights was a better film. I
You
thought
know,
Boogie Nights was a
Jack
better film.
Torino.
Oh,
I'm a Clint Eastwood dude, man. I'm a Clint Eastwood dude,
uh,
man. You know what I mean?
No, Robert. So am I. I like Clint Eastwood. I love the movie
yeah,
Pink
yeah,
Cadillac. I thought that was a great
yeah,
movie. I like Clint Eastwood. Unforgiven, it sounds cool. It sounds like every guy should like it. Ooh, Unforgiven. Like it sounds like a badass title and everything. But if you watch it, man, it's boring. It's boring
yeah.
until it gets to the
It's a
end.
little slow. It's a little slow as well.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Luke Skywalker Han Solo. Doling up on people. Yeah. That's it. That's the second time, though. You gotta go in that's kind of slow. You guys are taking shots
American
at me
Graffiti,
now.
dude. American
Maybe
Graffiti,
my
bro.
movies
Like,
are
shit, man.
slow.
Just like,
That's the
I like
shots
the Black
slow.
55 and American Graffiti, bro. How about that?
Look
Another
at
Han
you.
Solo. Another
Look at
Han
you.
Solo.
All right, a little Luke
You know
Skywalker
what?
on
You know
solo
what? Another
action.
good movie,
Give
The
it up.
Fugitive. Anyways,
Oh man.
It's the new format. I'm gonna be the guy. Okay, I'm gonna be the new spin of the way we're going.
That's
Direction
awesome,
we're
dude.
going.
That's awesome.
I
No,
get it.
yeah, I
Oh
mean,
man.
you know.
Unforgiven
But
took
no,
Best
yeah,
Picture
I
over.
think we're going to it. That's why I brought up the Chariots of Fire. It's not necessarily a better film. It was just chosen to be, the best movie of the year, but it beat out, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I
Let
mean,
me let me
it's
ask you
still not.
this.
It still doesn't make Chariots of Fire that much of a better film. And I'm not saying Unforgiven is not a good film. I just think it's overrated. That's all.
I'm
But I
saying
like the
it's not a
film.
good film. I'm saying it's not a good film. I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
Tell
saying.
me how you really
No.
feel.
Okay. No, wait. Hang
Don't
on,
beat around the
Robert.
bush
Hang
with
on.
me. Tell me how you really feel.
No. Hang on. Right? No. Fred brought this up. Fred brought up Unforgiven. It wasn't even on my list. He brought it
oh,
up, but
See?
he wants to let everybody down a little lightly. So I'm saying what Fred is thinking and
YouTube
feeling.
land.
It's
YouTube land.
not. It's
2
not
weeks
a
ago,
good movie.
2 weeks
It's not
ago,
a good movie. It's boring. It's
okay,
boring. It's boring.
2 weeks ago, Ed would have been like, Robert, maybe I'm feeling you. But the new format, he has to come at me and tell me it's boring. And then you see how he said it? He said it like, look at, he said it like this, bro. He was like, I'll say it. Fred ain't saying it. I'll say it. See that confrontation here?
whoa.
See? YouTube land, remember this episode. Remember,
Oh,
Oh,
man.
oh,
next episode there's gonna be no more Robert Anthony.
Hey, Ed's not saying it. I'm saying that Brokeback Mountain was a good movie, bro. No, for all I'm kidding, dude. Anyway, that's a better
Let
Western.
me ask you this:
Anyway,
as far as movies that are good,
Western
let me ask you this.
there's an extended edition.
Let me
Anyways,
ask
I'm
you
gonna.
this. Let me ask you this one about movies
All right,
that
go for it.
some people really like and some guys
Oh,
like. Tell me what you thought about Lone Survivor.
the which one?
I liked it. I liked it
Lone
with Mark
Survivor.
Wahlberg. With
Mark
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg, I
Which
liked it.
one?
Lone Survivor.
Oh yeah, that was awesome, dude. I
Yeah,
like that movie.
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
I like that movie.
yeah.
No, go for it, Robert. Go for it.
No, I'm just wondering, like, do you think like that at all got a little stagnant in the same storyline, or do you think
I,
it
I,
moved,
I
had good pace?
oh, okay. Here's what I'll say about that movie. It's not the most action packed when it comes to battle,
Mhm.
but it's a good story that keeps you interested. So
Yeah,
whenever there's not gunfighting going on, the story's very interesting. It's not like Black Hawk Down where it's bullets, from the beginning
yeah,
to the end of the movie. Pretty much, it's bullets flying all the time. So there's some battle in Lone Survivor, which is pretty cool. But the
Right.
story in between him going into the village and them taking him in and putting themselves at risk, like that was pretty that was still a cool part of the story.
I
So
agree.
it doesn't have to be that intense. But I will tell you guys this: we're running up against the clock here. But I will tell you guys
Mhm.
this: I love war movies, and one day we're gonna break down some war movies. There's a
Okay.
movie when I talk to people that love war movies, like I love war movies.
Mhm.
I think this movie completely sucks. And
Do not be
the Deer Hunter.
Oh heck no, dude. Oh heck no.
Deer Hunter is a
Uh,
gosh awful movie. That
Oh,
movie is
dude, no,
so
it's not.
bad.
No, it's not. I was like, dude,
Oh come on,
is
Fred.
it?
This is called the Ten
This is
Commandments
this.
awful too.
Uh,
This
This
is called all the
is
old
this.
school great movies awful. The Deer
No,
Hunter.
there's some
The
great
Deer
old
Hunter,
school
bro,
movies.
it's
I
a
love
good
old
movie,
school
dude.
movies.
I think
Fred,
that's an
come on,
excellent
Fred.
movie, bro. I think that's an excellent movie. I'll tell you what, and we'll touch on this later because you talked about war movies. I I think, and this one won. I think Platoon is a better film than Full Metal Jacket, in
I
my
I
opinion.
I I, I don't have a huge argument against that. They're
Yeah,
pretty parallel. They're pretty parallel with
yeah.
each other.
But, but as
But
far as
Deer
Deer
Hunter,
Hunter, oh, dude, that's an awesome movie, dude.
you put
That's
it
an
there with
awesome
Full Metal
movie.
Jacket and Platoon.
Huh?
You put it there with Platoon and Full Metal
Oh yeah.
Jacket.
Oh yeah.
Oh come on, Fred.
Yeah,
Oh no,
dude. Oh,
no.
dude. The story behind that was just yeah, yeah. I liked it. I truly liked it. I really did. I've seen that movie over and over and over, and it keeps me intrigued. Christopher Walken, Robert De Niro, John Cazale or whatever. I think that was his last film. He passed away. The one that played Fredo in Godfather Part Two.
And he was in Dog Day
The only thing that the Deer Hunter is missing is Han Solo.
except in your heart. But he'll always be in your heart. He'll always be in your heart, man. And because of that, he'll always be in our heart too.
Hold on, hold on. I want to get Robert's thoughts on Deer Hunter. Robert, Deer Hunter. Ah, come on, fellas. Come on, man. Be truthful. It's not a
It's
good
awesome.
movie.
It's,
Yeah,
aw-
bro,
it's
I liked it.
awesome, man. It's awesome. It's an awesome movie.
God.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
okay, Robert. I'll ask you the same thing I asked Fred. Would you put Deer Hunter up there with Platoon and Full Metal Jacket?
I think it's a little different type of war movie, right?
Mm.
Because
Okay.
the other two actually show in battle. And if it were to go Platoon against Full Metal Jacket, I go Full Metal Jacket. Platoon's good,
Mm.
but I go Full Metal Jacket. It just
Mm.
has some better scenes, I think. I think it has some cooler like things that go on in the movie. You know what I mean? For me personally, I like Platoon better. I mean,
Mm.
Full
Hey,
Metal Jacket better than Platoon. The Deer Hunter is kind of different because they have flashbacks and they came back together.
Yeah,
They're like going, they're having that trauma of the war, almost that PTSD before it was even diagnosed,
yeah. Well, it's
right?
called
the
Shell Shock.
I
okay.
always call that, when I watch movies, man, I actually, man, I'm big on like really good dialogue, dude. That's why I love Tarantino movies. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like when they're around and I hate to get off subject, like when they're tipping. Remember, they're just a
Oh,
bunch of rich
Reservoir
people at
Dogs.
the table having
Oh,
like these
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir
Yeah.
Great
Dogs,
movie.
and they're just talking about tipping or talking
Yeah.
about Madonna, True
Mhm.
Blue. This is what like a virgin means. All these hardcore criminals. This is what they're talking about, but he writes the
Yeah.
dialogue so well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Deer Hunter had some good like scenes like that, man. And I like that. I like the action. I like the action, man. But I also like the dialogue, man. Right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
first of all, Denise Hamburger Hill. I like that movie. That's a good.
Oh
That's
yeah.
a good war
Yeah.
flick.
That's
That's a
another
good
one.
war flick. Okay,
Mhm.
Deer Hunter is boring. It is a very slow start. It's
Ooh.
like okay, this is supposed to be a war movie, and then they're POWs, which I'm not saying you cannot have a good POW movie. Okay, there's
Mhm.
some good POW movies out there. They get into Russian roulette. I mean, Robert De Niro flipping out. That's the coolest part of the movie. He starts laughing with them, ha ha ha, like he's lost it. He's
Oh
gone
yeah. Yeah.
crazy, right? But before he's about to give it to them, that's the coolest part of the movie. Yeah, I get it. I could kind of sympathize with some of the story. Christopher Walken, he has PTSD. He continues doing Russian roulette even though he doesn't have to. But
Yeah.
yeah, but the movie's slow. The movie sucks, fellas.
Well,
Come on,
it's
man.
a
It's
slow
not a
burn as
good
well. It's a
movie.
slow
It's
burn. I
not a
think it's a slow burn too, though.
come
Yeah,
on.
it's a slow burn film, but I liked it. I liked that movie. You know what? I had that on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and flash drive. Man, I have all those. And in the what is it?
You
Whatever.
have it or you had it?
No, I have them. I have that
Oh, you
movie
have them.
in
Okay.
all
Okay.
formats. And then what is it? Voodoo, whatever it is. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just I don't
Just
get
not
that
doing it, huh?
movie. I don't think it's
Right.
that good. I think it's I just whenever anybody starts naming Robert De Niro movies, I never hear anybody bring that movie up. But as soon as you start
yeah.
talking war movies, they bring up Deer Hunter, and it's like, come on, come on.
Oh, dude, that movie to me is awesome, man. It's
Yeah,
it's just
I
so
liked it.
good.
I actually liked it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I liked
Uh,
it as well, man. You
I
know,
I you guys go watch that, and I will stick to Rocky Part 5.
wow. Before we
I like
leave,
Five, dude. I like Five.
I know we're going up against the clock. You just mentioned it. Can we touch on Rocky Five and
Let's
just
do it.
Okay.
explain to me in depth how? Because you just like don't say it's okay. You like it.
It's
I
probably
do as well.
it's probably my favorite. Probably.
Rocky Five is probably your favorite.
Yes. Yes.
You know
Yeah.
what, bro? Let me ask you a question, Robert.
Hold on, I gotta
Which is
pause.
your favorite of the Rocky of the Rocky saga? Which is your favorite one, though?
Me?
Yeah, or you, yeah.
My apologies, Fred. I go easy for me. It's easy. I can name them one, three, one and three. Then
Uh,
I go with two.
Okay.
Then I go with Drago. I don't even put Rocky Five in. I go straight to Balboa or something. I'll go straight
No.
to I'll go straight to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm not going to Rocky Five.
and
I'll
that's
go to
just
the
a jump to
story of
the
Rocky
left.
Blyer.
Yeah,
I'm not going to Rocky Five.
that's just a jump to the left. And
Yes.
Look,
you
look.
know what? Before we get into five, and I'll tell you this, and we've had this discussion before. The least favorite for me of the Rocky saga is part four. It's just too fake. It's
Yeah,
just too.
it
Yeah,
I'm like the character, like Ivan Drago was a little too robotic and everything, but it's not my least favorite. First of
yeah,
all, Robert, the fact that you would choose Balboa, which came out what in 2006, the fact that
yeah.
you would choose that one over Rocky Five, come on, brother, what are you doing, man? Right? I'll go ahead and
Yeah.
tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody this. I'm gonna go because everybody has not sat down and watched the Rocky movies lately from beginning
Yeah,
to end. I'm telling
yeah.
everybody this. Sit down and watch Rocky Part 2. It is not that good of a movie. I'm telling everybody, sit down and rewatch it. I'm not saying it's a horrible movie, but it's very slow. You're just waiting for the fight at the end. You're just waiting for the workout montage to begin because part two is a very, very slow, somewhat of a boring movie, man. Just waiting. She's
Let
in
me.
the coma after giving birth.
Yes.
He's there. It's a good story, but it's like part one is still good. I watched it not too long ago from beginning to end.
Always
Holds up very well. Part three, obviously.
awesome.
Part four, still good. But part two is it's a little bit rough to watch. Part five is one of my favorite.
But
It's
what?
either
Explain to
three
me.
or five.
But why? Like, what about five? Do you think? Like, first of all, there's no real fight. They don't get down in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
uh,
know.
uh,
So,
uh,
like, what is like? What did you think? Like, what made it like so likable for you? In all seriously, I know I've been joking around and clowning around and not having fun and everything, as we all have. But in all seriousness, man, what about five? Do you look at it and be like, that's good cinema?
Uh, can I speak on my
go for
part
it.
why I
Go
like
go
it?
go for it, Fred. Go for it, Fred. Go for it, Fred.
I'll tell
Go
you
for
why I like it, bro. Because it's if you look at it, it's realistic. He takes a guy under his wing, and this guy doesn't want to train. He doesn't have the patience. He wants it now, bro. And he turns his back on Rocky, which is something that really happens in real life. And anything we do when you try to take somebody under your wing, and they get a little bit of I guess you could say notoriety or whatever, and then they begin to believe that they're the only ones doing it. They forget who's really the person behind the scenes. So to me, that was more of a more of a realistic, and due to the situation that Rocky was in, I think it was perfect. I think it was the perfect fight at the end of the day because it kind of showed like, hey, I don't got to be in the ring. I'll still kick your butt. You know what I mean? So that's how I saw the film, and I thought it was good. And Tommy Gunn is one of the ungrateful, just a piece of work. It went in the film. You know, so that's why I liked it because Rocky's back to being humbled, and yet he still has the heart to want to help somebody out, and it just doesn't work out that way. So that's what I liked about it. So yeah, I like five. I like part
All
five. I
right.
like part five, and he's taken away from his own son. He focuses away from his own son. So there's a lot of stuff that happened in that I thought was great. That's my
All
take on
right.
it.
So
Okay.
just before
Let
you
me give
go,
my piece.
just before you
Yeah.
go,
Yes.
so thank you for explaining your
Uh-huh.
perspective. And if we were in the showroom, you didn't close. I'm not buying the car. You didn't
Okay.
sell it. You didn't close
It's
at
all
all.
good. It's all good.
As a matter of fact, I'm walking away right now, and your boss is saying you had him
Hey,
on the.
by all means,
Let's
brother, by
bring
all
in the
means, go
closer.
for it. Hey,
Let's bring in the closer. Can you close? Can you
Okay.
close?
All right. Yeah. Yeah. I can close. Look. 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 Okay. It's what separates it from the rest of the Rockies. All right. Rocky, we never got to see Rocky be a street fighter in any of the movies. We only got to see him as a boxer. Yet we were told that he grew up in the streets, that he is a street fighter. Now we got to see him living in the streets, like that street life, but we never saw him being a street fighter. The son, the struggle that his son went through, right? Being this rich little kid, which a lot of people in society, oh, those rich little kids, where they go to the hood, they can't make it. He had to go through that struggle. Hey, come on, give me the money. Hey, I gotta eat. He's hungry. He's gotta eat. Well, eat this. Like
Yeah,
that's like that. That story itself was really good. And then how he rebels, right? He makes his friends. He rebels against his dad because his dad is too busy because his dad lost. His dad, Rocky, still wants to fight. But Adrian is there saying no mas because of your health, right? It's the shady part in boxing. Man, the promoters don't care about you. They want to make money. That's why the Duke is trying to get him into the ring, right? He didn't care about Tommy Morrison. He don't care about me neither, right? That was the same.
yeah,
So he gets Tommy Morrison.
Easy knowledge, right?
He gets Tommy Morrison. May he rest in peace. Tommy the Machine Gun makes him right. Makes him this millionaire, this superstar, and then all the critics come out. Not everybody can handle it. Not everybody can deal with the pressure, man. Even
mhm,
heck, being on social media, it's not for everybody. Not everybody can
yeah,
deal with the pressure, right? That comes with
yeah.
it. Questioning them. Oh, are you really good enough? Can I really take him? Old lion versus young lion. And if he doesn't take it, then you gotta insult him. You gotta dog him. You gotta do whatever it is you gotta do to come into that ring, but that's what you got to do. The fact
I just bought a Mercedes, dude. Sign me up, dude.
Hey, I
no,
didn't hear no
but
bell. I didn't hear no bell. I didn't hear no bell.
and there's only two Rocky movies where they show the entire fight, Rocky 3 and Rocky 5. All the
Yeah,
other movies is just a montage of them boxing. It might show like the first two rounds, and then it just shows, a little bit of boxing here. Oh, now it's in the
and then the
seventh,
last
now it's in
round.
the ninth, things like that. But only those two movies do they show the full fight. And it
Yeah,
goes back to Rocky's roots. You're a street fighter. Remember that. Those were your humble beginnings. You are a street fighter. Yeah, my
mhm,
ring's outside because this ain't nothing new to me, homie. You
yeah.
wanna come in here, you wanna
Well,
disrespect
yeah,
me, calling me out with this dude Duke, right? Like you're gonna get a prize fight. No, you're gonna get a fight, but you're not getting no prize fight out of me,
Yeah.
homeboy. My ring's outside because that's
Man,
my humble
I'll tell
beginnings.
you what, man. You
I,
sold
I
that
like
movie.
I like fight.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go watch it right now. I'm gonna go watch it right
you
now.
sold that good, man. I just don't like. Can I tell you what I don't like about it, real
Yes,
quick?
please, please.
All those points you made are good points, right? Awesome. You like that movie, man, bro. You did a good job explaining the good part of that movie. You're right. There's some good things in that movie that I forgot about. What I don't like about that movie, right, is him losing all his money like that. That couldn't happen. You know what I mean? You got lawyers, you got this and that, and Paulie. He left Paul.
Mm,
Really, you're gonna leave Paulie in charge? I don't
mm.
like that.
Yeah,
You're right. Okay, that I will. I'm still not sure. I've seen that movie so many times,
Right.
and I'm
Let
still
Paulie get power
not
of attorney.
sure how they lose all the
Yeah,
fortune due to
exactly.
Paulie. And
yeah.
by the way, if my brother-in-law, if Paulie loses everything for me, hey homie, you're not coming to live with us.
You're not living with me, right?
You're not. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're
So
not living
I
with
didn't like
me.
that.
You.
I didn't like the
I'm with
fact
you.
that he had his same little condo. All these years he kept it. Was it a rental? The same one that him and Adrian grew. He had it as
Yeah,
a rental property. I didn't like that. I thought that was kind of lame.
yeah.
Also,
It had its flaws.
also,
It
I
had its
love the
flaws.
street
You know.
fighter.
also, Adrian went back to the bird store. They kept her job for her at the bird
No,
store.
no, no, no. No, it's explained there, Robert. It says she could use some help.
She could
She
use some
went
help.
to go.
Okay, so
She,
she's
she
back
went
at the
to
bird store.
she after that scene when Duke is out there trying to pump Rocky up, trying to get him back into the ring, and he after he leaves, he tells her like, what are you doing? Going back over there. She's on. I went to Gloria. I even remember her name. I went to Gloria. She said she could use a little extra help. So,
Okay.
to do it. You know, we could use the
Okay.
extra money, and I want to
So
be close to you. It's
okay,
a good story.
okay, that, and then finally,
Yeah.
what I didn't like too, man, is all of a sudden, this is what I didn't get. Right, he went from in Rocky 3, man. He was smooth cruise, man. The dude was in suits. All of a sudden, he could talk, and then all of a sudden, he couldn't talk anymore. And then
So the beating in part
hold on,
four.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Yeah.
And the reason is because Drago beat him up, right, so bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
he couldn't talk anymore. But then after Rocky 5, he was able to put it together and open up a business, a restaurant. He was smart enough to do that, and now he's running a restaurant.
Yeah, because his son, no, because his son, you know, his son might have helped him out, and you know, it's
Did
just
it look like
not,
it? They think they were estranged.
you know what, Robert, you know what?
That's a nice movie.
Sometimes the Lord just blesses you.
You're
You know
right.
what I mean?
That's a great way to end it. You're right. I agree with that. I agree with that. So let me not knock the movie. You made some good points. But if I'm not mistaken, bro, didn't he even have his leather glove and the ball that he used to throw around on the dock?
He
He
did.
started
He
carrying that.
did.
The only
Yeah.
thing I didn't see in Rocky 5 was and I bet you're gonna tell me it was in there when the dudes were around the fire singing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
That was the only thing
yeah.
missing, dude. Was
That
the
well,
movement around the fire.
yeah. I mean the fire at nighttime on the in the
Yeah. And then they
barrels,
had to
man. I mean
do
when they got down in the street fight, they were out there. I mean they were singing, but
yeah,
they were like, oh man, look at this. I
yeah.
think it's a great fight scene. I love the fight
Give me
scene.
that.
Um,
I'll give you that.
the story with the son, the side story with the son,
I'll
I
give you
think
that.
is great.
Yeah.
I think
I'll give you
I
that.
love that movie, man. I
Okay.
really do. I really
Fair,
do.
fair
Yeah.
enough. Bro. What do I know? I like Unforgiven. You know what I mean? What do I know? Right? I like
But it
Unforgiven.
didn't have Han Solo, bro. So you can't,
Right,
I
right.
can't
So
agree with that. I
it
like
is
the
what it is,
mosquito
man.
coat thing because they had Harrison
Yeah,
Ford.
you're right. It is what it is. So
All right, man. All
Yeah,
right.
that's awesome.
Yeah, Shawana, you're right, man. That's one of the greatest fight scenes ever. We'll get to that on another one. But hey, man, we're up against it right here. This was a great time, fellas. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Any
No,
last
definitely,
words,
man.
Robert?
Always good time.
no, man, I appreciate it, man. I had fun. It's been
Yeah,
winding
definitely.
down, man. I was able to just have a good time, man. It was good. It was good hanging out with you too, man, and being able to just have some fun
Definitely.
and tell some jokes and laugh and make fun of each other in a good way. You know what I mean? So thank you for that.
Definitely.
Like I let a lot out, man. Appreciate you both.
Hey, likewise, my brother. Thank you. No, it's same here, brother. Same here. Thank you for having me on and having a good time with both of you guys, man. And this is what it's about, bro. You having a good time and being, just being easy about it, and we can agree, disagree, and then kind of get to the point or whatever. It's all great, man. It's all great at the end of the day, I think it's awesome.
Wow.
I think it's awesome, man. I think you got a good show going on right here, brother. You got a good show going on right here. We've been having a lot of fun on here.
With the new
This
format.
is a
We're
good
so
thing,
You
This is a good
know,
thing.
it's said to never pray for hate, but I think I'm gonna pray for you guys to hate Deer Hunter. Because that movie's not good, man. That is not a good movie, man. But anyway, we'll leave it right there. We'll leave it right there, man. That is Fred Segura, Two-Face Entertainment, Chicano history teacher, my boy Robert Anthony, San Jose, Solo Trucker, M.A.S. Movies and Shows. Catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Hasta la vista, baby.